are going to have a silent debate on misrepresentation. If you remember, there are two sides of the argument of which you might be assigned today, okay? And you are going to have to develop your argument based on one of those two sides. Pro, misrepresentation effectively conveys its message through the use of rhetorical appeals. The con side is that misrepresentation undermines its message through its use of appeals. We are going to have a silent debate whereby you are going to develop one of these two arguments which will be assigned to you. Okay? Rules of the silent conversation, just for a reminder. Rule number 1, most important, no talking. Rule number 2, that your contributions to the silent conversation may be an idea, a question, a quote, or in this case, a piece of evidence that will substantiate an idea or foster a question. Okay? The last thing is that the whole point of this is that you are building upon each other's ideas. And the reason why we do silent conversations and silent debates is that you're not talking over each other, but that you have time to really think through what it is that you want to say, and that you're really listening to each other by visually seeing each other's thoughts on that piece of paper. Okay? Questions? Comments? Concerns? We're good? Alright, so here's how it's going to work. I'm first going to assign you to a pro or anti paper. There are 4. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to work in your group to construct that argument. At that point, I'm going to regroup you, and half of the group will be on the pro side, the other half of the group will be on the anti side, and you will be working on these debate papers. So first, you're constructing your argument and working with your group mates to construct your argument. Then you will be regrouped for the debate. Make sense? Yeah? All right, so let's do this. What do you think? Now, what do you actually think? Megan?
It seemed fairly hypocritical to me, at least in the sense that there was a point where there were like all these negative images of women being portrayed in the media, but then they chose to show even more negative images, like Haley said, and they chose to negatively portray some men as like the attackers, the aggressors, the instigators, instead of actually providing like a better and more like high ground argument.
What would be your #1 point of criticism to this director to say, I like your film, I like what you're doing here, but change this or do this?
I think something that really lacked was its diversity in race and, like, I was saying this to her yesterday, the LGBT community, like, they didn't really talk about how these things, like, affect people of different cultures and of different sexualities.